The old book opened where the binding broke. A photograph slid down beside my shoe. Why did the rain still shine across my shoulder, while every drop had missed the side of you? I bent and held the paper by its corners. Dust turned in radiator light. Your hand was resting halfway down my sleeve. Mine looked calm enough to make the moment lie. The date was blurred, I knew the season. That narrow week when neither of us slept. I traced the pale half moon beside your collar, then stopped before my thumb could touch your neck. I told the empty room it meant nothing, just silver weather paper, borrowed light. But I knew the code I wore, the words I swallowed, and how you faced the lens instead of mine. I found us faded at the edges, both of us sharp where we pretended. Your fingers caught inside my sleeve, my smile already turned away. I found us faded before I knew it. The weather had begun back then. The paper held what we looked like, not what we were becoming. Maybe love can leave before the leaving. Maybe truth arrives without a sound. I called that picture proof of staying. Now I saw the distance looking out. I found us faded at the edges, not ruined, not asking to be saved, just two people standing in the weather, still too kind to name what it changed. The paper kept a borrowed brightness. My hands could let the moment stay without mistaking what was tender for a road that led your way. I crossed the dim hall without turning and left the photograph beneath the lamp. At 2:30, I cross the hallway. My hand finds the switch before my eyes. The photograph is waiting where I left it. Who am I keeping from the dark tonight? The radiator knocks behind the bedroom. Rain draws thin rivers down the pane. I tell myself the bulb is only habit, then check the stairwell when the floorboards strain. I leave the lamp on, though nobody is coming. I leave the lamp on, like the room has not been told. It warms the faded paper, it reaches toward the doorway. I leave the lamp on and let the hallway hold. You used to turn it off behind you. Your sleeve would brush the painted wall. I used to hear the lock and keep on sleeping, certain you would answer if I called. Now every night my fingers do it for me. A little light, a half-closed door. Not hope, exactly, not a promise. Just one old movement, asking for one more. Darken every corner, I could move the picture from its place, but my body keeps remembering before my mind can name your face. The hallway never asks a question, it only waits beneath the glow. I stand there longer than I mean to, with one hand resting on the door. I leave the lamp on, not because you are returning. I leave the lamp on because darkness feels too quick. It falls across the photograph and makes the wet mark silver. I leave the lamp on while I learn what habit is. I pull my bedroom door, almost closed. The lamp stays burning in the hall. I pulled the chair out from the table, though I knew you would not take the seat. Would the room have changed between us if you had said what made you leave? You called it timing, called it pressure. You watched the steam rise from your cup. I nodded like I understood you, while every honest word stayed shut. Say what you couldn't when your hand was on the door. Say you were frightened. Say you didn't want this anymore. Say it without kindness. If kindness hides the truth, I can carry what you meant. I cannot carry guessing you. I found the photograph this morning. Your shoulders turned a little toward the wall. We looked close enough for strangers, but I remember feeling small. Maybe you believe that leaving softly would leave less damage in the room, but silence keeps rearranging every sentence it consumes. Say what you couldn't when I asked you not to go. Say love had changed its shape before you thought that I should know. Do not give me forever. Do not polish what was true. Give me one unfinished sentence I can finally finish too. I am not asking you to come back. I am not asking who was wrong. I only want the missing language that kept living after you were gone. Maybe I heard what you were saying and chose the version I could bear. Maybe you left the truth between us because I would not meet you there. Say what you couldn't, even if I say it now. You wanted distance, and I would not let you name it out loud. The room can keep its silence. The chair can face the wall. I push it underneath the table and let no answer come at all. A door slammed somewhere under my floor. I saw a dark sleeve through the stairwell glass. Was that your shoulder turning toward the pavement, or just my memory moving twice as fast? I left the lamp and photograph behind me. No shoes tied, one hand along the rail. The second landing tilted in the window. Rain made every stranger look familiar through the veil. 3 flights down before my mind could stop me. 3 flights down with your name behind my teeth. Past the cracked blue wall, past the bicycle and mail slots. 3 flights down, chasing what I thought I'd seen. The woman at the bottom held the doorway. A grocery bag was cutting through her hand. The coat was gray, the height was almost perfect. She looked at me and did not understand. I said I'm sorry, stepped into the weather. My socks were wet before I reached the curb. I laughed once, sharp enough to frighten me, then covered it by coughing at the passing cars. I had not known my body waited ready at the smallest sound to turn a shadow into your return and run the whole way down. I stood beneath the leaking awning while the woman crossed the street. She never looked back toward the doorway. She had somewhere real to be. 3 flights down before the truth could catch me. 3 flights down for somebody I made you be. There was no message, no familiar hand beside the doorway. 3 flights down and only rain waiting for me. I stepped back through the entrance alone. The heavy door shuts at my heel. You set the chain before I finished. My sentence landed halfway in the hall. Was I asking you to let me inside, or asking you to never leave at all? You said, tonight I need the quiet. I heard, there is no place for you. I put my palm against the painted doorway, as if the wood could tell me which was true. You locked because the room was all you had. I knocked because the silence felt like a loss. You needed one night without answering. I needed proof we were not gone. You locked, I knocked, and neither heard what fear had cost. You said, please go home, we'll speak tomorrow. I said, tomorrow always moves. You kept your voice low for the neighbors. I kept finding sharper words to use. I called your distance punishment. You called my staying pressure. Both of us were trying to feel safer. Both of us made safety hurt the other. I used to tell that story simply, your cold hand, my faithful heart. But I can see the fear on both sides now, each of us guarding a different part. You feared that letting me come closer would take the last breath from the room. I feared one closed door meant forever, and tried to force it open with the truth. You locked because you could not breathe beside me. I knocked because I could not breathe alone. It was not proof that you were heartless. It was not proof that I was strong. You locked, I knocked, until the hallway carried on. I slide your old key from my ring and place it by the folded note. note along its oldest crease. The paper lifts, then settles in my hands. How can four folds carry so much weight when every word is smaller than I planned? Your writing leans toward the right, mine waits beneath in darker ink. The radiator gives one knock. I read the first line, then I stopped to think. There is no hidden explanation, no sentence I had failed to see. Only the ordinary promise we made before we knew what it would mean. I fold the note once through your name, again across the date. I fold the note until the words return to their old shape. Thumb smooths down the paper edge. The room grows quiet around the sound. I do not tear it into pieces. I do not leave it open on the ground. Some things survive by being handled. Some things survive because we wait. I only know my hands are calmer when every corner meets its mate. The paper is not asking to be answered or believed. It rests between my fingers without pulling at my sleeve. I fold the note, not as an answer, not as a vow to keep. I fold the note and let the silence settle where the language used to be. I place it in my coat pocket and button the pocket closed. You opened on the second knock, one hand still holding back the door. I saw my coat behind your shoulder, exactly where I left it months before. You asked if I would come inside. I said no, I only came for that. Did you hear the shaking in my answer, or only how deliberately I stood back? Taking my coat back, the gray one by the doorway, the one with rain still darkening the stitching at the cuff. Taking my coat back, you can keep the conversation. I came for what was mine, and that is difficult enough. You lifted it down slowly, your fingers caught the sleeve. You said, I thought you might return for it. I said, that isn't why I leave. For half a breath we almost laughed, the way we did before the strain. Then you asked if I was doing better, and I looked past you at the window. Stayed for tea, I could have made the old room kind, but kindness Darkness was the door we used whenever truth fell too far behind. You held the coat between us like something neither hand could name, then loosened your grip from the collar and let me take its weight again. Taking my coat back, not taking back the winter, not asking for the version where we get it right somehow. Taking my coat back and leaving you the doorway. You let the sleeve go gently, I can hold it for myself now. On the pavement I put both arms through. The folded note rests in the pocket. I opened the note on the winter bus, my coat spread damp across my knees. Why had I carried it to your doorway if I was not prepared to read? The city moved behind the window, street lamps crossed the paper white. Your handwriting began the message, mine appeared below it, small and tight. We had written both our names together for someone I no longer can recall. Yours stood first in certain letters, mine leaned underneath against the fold. It looked like nothing when we wrote it, just the order that came naturally. But I remembered how I often waited for your voice before I trusted mine to speak. My name beneath yours, careful, smaller, almost hidden. My name beneath yours, as if that made the sentence safe. I thought love meant moving closer, even when I lost my place. There it was in ordinary ink, the habit I had never faced. I do not blame the hand above me. You never told me where to stand. I kept lowering my own voice, then asked you why. You could not understand. The bus turned near the river, the paper shifted on my knee. For once I did not hold it steady, I let the movement come through. Still belongs to me completely. The page does not decide which one of us should lead. I turn the folded note over where the paper has stayed clean, and write my name without another in the center of the sheet. I type the number without looking. My thumb remembers every turn. What am I hoping you will answer that I have not already learned? The photograph is in my coat. The note lies open by the glass. Your name waits pale above the call key, one small circle asking to be pressed. I could say I found the picture. I could ask if you still have that book. I could make the smallest reason sound like all the courage that it took. But reasons are not always reasons. Sometimes they are doors we paint as words. Sometimes hearing one familiar hello makes every heart a truth go blurred. Before I ring, I need to know which part of me is calling. Before I ring, I need to know what answer I would use. Would I be asking for the truth, or only for your voice again? Before I ring, I have to choose. The lamp reflects across the screen. Rain gathers underneath the sill. My hand is steady for a moment, then the room becomes completely still. I picture you saying my name softly. I picture myself losing mine. I watch the call key wait beneath me, bright as a doorway in the night. Before I ring, I let the number sit there like an open gate. Before I ring, I hear the silence without forcing it to change. I do not call, I do not promise. I will never want to try. I turn the phone face down beside the note and leave your number quiet for tonight. Morning found the lamp still burning. The photograph lay silver in its reach, whose mark had crossed the corner by your shoulder. A curved dark line the rain could never leave. I lifted it toward the window. The ridges caught the pale first light, not yours from some forgotten winter, mine from holding it again last night. I had blamed the weather for returning you, blamed the paper, blamed the room. making old expressions open like a flower out of season. But rain did not keep turning it face upward. Paper never called me from my bed. The photograph had stayed because my fingers kept repeating everything my mouth had left unsaid. Thumbprint on the photograph, fresh across the faded shine. The past had not been reaching for me, I had been reaching back each time. A thumbprint on the photograph, small enough to miss at first. Proof that memory was not only weather, proof my own hand did the work. That does not make the love dishonest, that does not make the tenderness less true. It only means the door stayed open because I kept walking memory through. I held the paper by its edges as if careful hands could change the way I used one captured second to avoid the ending that became. The thumbprint on the photograph turns dark, then disappears. When I tilt the paper from the window, it is only oil and years. I cannot make the picture answer, I cannot ask the light to stop. I slip it carefully inside my coat and let the hallway lamp go off. Your floor is quiet under midnight. The bell is cold beneath my hand. Did I come here to return the picture, or to see if you would understand? I hear a chair move through the doorway, water running somewhere in the room. One small sound could turn me backward into every shape I used to choose. Love stays, I leave. Both can be true inside me. Love stays, I leave. Without making either small, I do not have to kill the feeling to stop obeying what it needs. Love stays, I leave before my hand completes the reach. Photograph rests in my pocket, its paper edge against my palm. I could place it at your doorway, like returning it would make me calm. But it is not yours to solve now, it is not evidence to trade. It held the moment we were were tender, and the distance neither one of us could name. I loved you past the final answer, past the lock, the rain, the years. Love is not a set of footsteps I must follow because it still appears. I let my fingers leave the bell. The metal keeps no mark of me. The hardest choice is not forgetting, it is choosing where my body needs to be. Love stays, I leave. I carry both without surrender. Love stays, I leave. The hallway does not need a scene. I lower my hand from the bell and turn before the floorboards speak. Love stays, I leave, with the photograph still safe with me. I walk down into the rain and do not look back at the light. Dawn gathers softly on the window. The rain has thinned to separate lines. Why does the room feel more familiar now that I am not waiting for a sign? My coat hangs drying by the doorway. The folded note is on the chair. The photograph rests near the lamp base, quiet as an object left anywhere. I look again without correcting the way your shoulders faced away. I see the tenderness between us and what we could not make it say. We were not false because we ended. We were not meant to stay unchanged. Paper holds one honest second before we understood its shape. I do not need to lose the lesson. I do not need to lose your face. I only need to stop confusing what was loved with what should still remain. The morning warms the wooden handle. Dust rises where my fingers pass. The room makes no announcement. The light does not become the past. I smooth the corner with my thumb. The rain mark crosses both our sleeves. I let myself remember kindly without asking memory to lead. No promise waits behind the paper. No road appears beneath the grain. Only two people in one weather before they learned to name the change. I open the drawer beside the bed. The wooden There's enough room for the picture and enough light to let it go. I lift the photograph from the table and place it in the empty drawer. I leave the image facing upward, with nothing resting on it anymore. My hand stays there for one slow breath. I close the drawer gently.